lovely chiropractic people. One thing I wanted to say, another one thing that I wanted to say, is that the demo we did at the end of the day on Sunday on Jyoti, there was a lot more that we could have talked about. And so as the geometry becomes more familiar to you, it's really important that you start feeling all of the things. At the beginning, it's a lot to feel for the disconnects, recognize the focal points, figure out the geometry, figure out the track. Where is the track going? How deep is the track? Where does it widen? Where does it narrow? Where does it go? Do I want to do it from all 6 points, or do I want to do it from 1 point? And if I do it from 1 point, do I want a vector, or do I want to match the tone as a holographic whole in that instant? Once that becomes somewhat feasible for you to have your hand and awareness on all of those things, I want you to start really feeling what other structures the track is pulling on or distorting or shifting and changing. Because the more we know about how that track is going to be, or how it is in the system and what it's affecting, once we release it, we can give much clearer information to that person about what they might expect. So I can't remember if I gave the example of when we have that in the notes, we have that shearing track that goes like up and then goes over to the left and then comes over to the right and then stays pretty intensely on the right. And that one, it's a very strong V in the lower thoracics. That person, if they were in my office and we released that track, I would probably say to them that they're going to most likely notice some changes in the way their elimination is, that their pee might smell different, they might have a different quality, that they're going to want to drink a lot of water because their kidneys are going to be releasing a lot of extra stuff that it's been holding onto through that pattern. And that's just one example. There are we talked about the postural shift in Jyoti's system. We talked about the way her lungs were able to open up. Those are all examples. But in the posterior geometry, even though we're not so focused on the organ systems, feel the way that track is going to pull and the posture is going to shift, because all of that is going to change the positioning of the organs. It's going to change their positioning in space. It's going to change the way they walk into a room and how they do their job. So all of those are things to think about. And I know in the beginning, just figuring out the geometry feels like a lot. Once that feels kind of, I don't want to say easy, it's never easy, but once that feels doable, go ahead and start asking yourself other questions. What is this pulling through? What are the structures that are being distorted by this track? When I release this track, what might I expect in terms of a reaction, or what awarenesses might that person have? Are they going to sleep different? Are they going to eat different? Are they going to have a different appetite? Are they going to have cravings for different kinds of foods? All those things are just interesting bits of information, and it really helps to open up our picture of seeing the person as a whole.